Alrighty, welcome back to the City Sticker channel. It's been a little while since I posted because we've been in such a hard drought in western Pennsylvania that there's not a lot to report on. But I figured I'd better come over and give you some sort of report. We're 2 weeks away from archery, and me being a food plot guy, I was going to show you what I've got and what failures I've had because of this drought. So let's walk the property a little bit, show you what we got, okay? I'm going to turn around the camera here. We're going to take a walk. There's my new hunting rig. But, okay, I'm in one of my blocks of clover. And usually, I'm mowing these things like crazy. As soon as they flower up and brown, you know, those little flowers turn brown, I come over and mow, spread that seed, thicken up the plots. Well, luckily I did that all the way up into June, because when this drought started, I could no longer mow. So that's why there's little tufts of grass here and there, you know, because I had given it a shot of IMOX, took care of most of the weeds and grasses. But what I've got left, as you can see, is there is lots of clover, but this was really lush up to your ankles for a long time, and now it's dang near burned up. But we're on the cusp of a week-long weather pattern that's coming, supposedly, according to meteorologists, and they say we're going to get the rain. I don't know if you could all see that, but this is the weather forecast for the next week. I mean, it's not great, but pretty good chances of rain Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So we're going to bank on that. So I'm looking forward to a week of rain. So if you are thinking about saving your plots, you still want to try for your plot, I would recommend, if you've got prepared dirt, to get your whatever clovers and brassica out on top of the dirt, get the grains out, your winter wheat, your winter rye, get that flying, get it all down, because if we get this week-long bit of rain, that's going to be a good thing. It's not going to amount to much for you for hunting, but it'll keep something green in there, and those grains will germinate down into the 30s. So, you know, anymore our weather systems we haven't got snow till January for the past couple of years. So, you know, if the ground temperature stays up a little bit, those grains are, like I said, they'll germinate down into the 30s, but it all depends on the soil temperature, realistically. But if you get some warmer days, you know, that stuff will germinate, and it'll be green for the deer. So, all right, enough of that talk. But if you're desperate, get something out this week. I guess that's the moral of the story. But check this out. I wanted to show you. I was looking around and I was finding all these purple flowers, and at first I wasn't sure what they were, but what they are is that's the old chicory. That was the old chicory. The chicory, that's how it, you know, it's fighting to survive, so it sends all its nutrients to the top, and it ends up being these bluish, purplish flowers. I think they're daggone pretty, actually, but just saying. So, yeah, not a lot happening out here except for the clover. I had strips here that were supposed to be screening. They burned up, so I put down some winter wheat in there, and that didn't even grow good. So kind of a loss here. This was supposed to be my center portion in between my two blocks, because that's a block of clover over there, and that's a block of clover we just walked out of. And this was going to be like a kill area, whatever. And I came over, I don't know, a month ago and sprayed this dead, and went ahead and drug around in it kind of scratched the surface down an inch or two, and I spread seed because I had 2 days of rain coming, and really the only thing that rebounded was the established clover. So a lot of what you're seeing is established clover, some very small brassicas in there that really didn't amount to anything. So there's a chance some of that might make it, but what I'm going to do is put a little bit more seed on it eventually here. Probably today I'm going to put some seed down, get some fine brassicas and some fine clover on it with chicory mixed, and pour some grains to it, put some winter wheat to it. Yep. So yeah, this was all supposed to be a strip here. That ended up being all foxtail and weeds, you know, just a total bamboozle this year with this weather. Over here, this was all supposed to be a strip going straight away for me, and it curls around. And I mean, you guys have seen this before in my videos, how I do these plots. I totally encase them in screening. This is my screening this year. What a joke. Some winter wheat, and there's a patch of Egyptian wheat right there that took. You know, that's the extent of my screening this year. That's the best part of my screening. Totally amazing. But yeah, this is the other block of clover. And so anyhow, they're still hitting it like crazy. If I was to stop and show you all the piles of deer dung that's in here, which I don't think you're interested in looking at, but they're in here constantly, and that's why it's mowed so low the way it is. But I also came over a month and a half ago or so and knocked down all this pasture down low, so all that is all fresh green growth. And that's what they like to do. They like to come, they get some clover, and then they come out to the pasture and lay down and chew their cud. So the plan is to still hunt over here some. They're still coming in here, not a problem. So not worried about it, but I am going to throw some seed. I suggest everybody else do that this week in western Pennsylvania as a last hurrah. And if that fails, I don't know what to tell you. This weather's just nuts. I would get some grains down probably sometime in October, because this weather pattern has to change at some point. We're going to be getting some very heavy dews if we're not getting rain, and it'll probably be enough to germinate that stuff at that point in time. So, but in the meantime, I'm getting cleaned up by turkeys. I just bumped the flock off that clover block behind me when I pulled into the field on the bike, and they all ran off. But I will go show you 2 more plots back at the house there and show you the pittiness of that, and then we'll end this video. We'll catch you guys over there across the road. As promised, I am back. We're back across the road. We're behind camp in my feed plot. This is not something I hunt. This is something I always planted to feed the deer. And I did the same thing over here. I came over, it was pretty well burned up, and scratched it up. Now when I say scratch, I'm talking an inch or 2 most, so you're not bringing all that weed seed back to the top, because that stuff, it stays in the ground for hundreds of years, man. There's weeds under there you don't even know about. But yeah, you can see there's very light green all along here, and that was also some brassica and clovers that I spread that started to germinate with that rain that we had when I planted, and then stalled out. So I'm hoping this week's rain will boost this up. Now this one here, it's just a feed plot. I'm not really, I have enough seed. I'll spread a little bit on it, try to thicken it up, just so it's not weeds in the next spring too badly. So I will try to thicken that a little bit. I'm seeing very, very tiny clovers and brassica coming, and had some turkeys in here too. So is what it is, guys. That's what we had to deal with all summer. And you know, you can't grow plots without rain. It's just impossible. So I'm gonna head down into the woods below the house and show you what I got down there. The turkeys are rampant down here too. So I mean, it's funny, you plant this stuff, you don't see turkeys all summer, and you get into a hard spot like this and the turkeys come and wipe you out. It's just ridiculous, you know. And then hunting season will come for turkey, and then they'll be gone again. So we'll head down in here and I'll show you the little plot. We'll see what we got going down in the woods. Just kicked up a deer there. I don't know if you can see that running off. It was bedded down here right beside the plot. That's one thing, you know, these doe around here, I've got too many of them to begin with. And then I've got a bunch of neighbors that don't shoot doe. I'm overrun with doe. I have 2 doe tags. My boy has 2 tags, and we need to. 4 is not enough, but it's better than taking none. But yeah, they stick close to your plots anyhow, was the moral of that little rant. So getting down into my woods here, I'll turn this around. So we're entering in. I got this horseshoe thing going on around this center portion. And the center portion, it's full of stumps and humongous rocks, Volkswagen-sized rocks. But I've got two really good nut. Ooh, what was that? Had some bug land on my shoulder. Ooh, spooked me. 2 really good nut trees right there that I didn't want to take out of that center. But this is what I got going on down here, and I'm assuming that's why these deer are bedded here, because this is the only green thing around that's nutritious. It ain't much, but it's small and tender, and it's a mixture of grains and clovers and brassicas as well. But it's starting, and the only reason why I have this is because this portion of the plot evidently gets shaded, so it gets enough sun in the morning to get the photosynthesis that it needs. But I've got this wall of trees, so as the sun, you know, I got a big opening here, but as the sun passes over, then it's filtered shade, and so it didn't have a chance to burn this all up. But as you can see, walking forward where the plot gets more sun, it just burned the heck out of it. And I've literally got bare dirt down here. I got turkeys dusting in bowls here. You know, there's still plenty of seed. There's still plenty of seed on top of the ground. You can see there's still grains and stuff all over the ground here. Just waiting to do something. But without the moisture, you got nothing, man. I actually came down with a leaf blower yesterday and blew this all off. You know, this was all covered with leaves. I blew it all off. And here's what I'm dealing with. Little jerks down here eating all my seed. So, yep, this is what I got going down here. No moisture. Dry as a bone. I mean, kicking up dust. Ridiculous. Never seen it this dry before in my life. So, that's what I'm dealing with, guys. I'm hoping they're calling for a week-long rain event I mean, week long. They're calling for rain every day, upwards of 50%. Look, man, you can see all the grains. There's oats, there's winter wheat, there's winter rye, and you can't see it, but well, there's brassica right there. Brassica there. There's brassica there. Brassica there. I mean, the seed's still here. It just needs to get wet. So, alright. So, the purpose of today's video, let's get to the point. Last chance, guys. If you're going to plant a plot, this week in Western PA is going to be your chance. After that, you're just going to have to throw seed down and let it sit and just wait for it. It might not do anything till spring if it lays dormant under leaves or snow or whatever. If it doesn't rot up and get destroyed or eaten by birds, you might have something in the spring. And if that's all you're banking on, use your grains, winter wheat, winter rye. Put the grains down. It'll be the first thing to green up when the spring weather starts to warm up, the sun comes out, and we'll germinate that stuff for you. So, just wanted to give you a little insight, a little update what I'm dealing with. Sorry for the bad camera work today. I've got this little tiny miniature desktop tripod thing I'm holding on to. I didn't bring my selfie stick. There's one of my little thieves right there looking at me. Right there. Little suckers. That's what I'm feeding. Obviously the plot's for them, so I can't be so bitter. But yeah, just walking around, they're just bedded all over me down here. Polluted with them. That's another reason why I'm trying to. I could have given up like everybody else, but these poor deer, the browse line's so high, like they can't even reach leaves anymore to eat them. And then once they get brown and bitter, they ain't really eating them off the ground. They don't care about them then. So banking on acorns, we have very little acorns. We gotta, if you've seen previous videos, I talked about getting hit with that drought, or hit with that frost, I should say, real late in May. And it actually got my first batch of screening and killed it. So that zapped all the oak trees around, and the acorns are struggling, and the ones we have are really small, unless you was in like if the crown of the tree got sun and didn't frost for very long, or like over at the destination plots up on top of that hill. My mother-in-law lives up there that way. She has fruit trees, and her fruit trees are doing great. But I'm down in a valley here, and I got nailed with everything. So down here, fruit and nuts not so good. Other areas. So anyhow, the acorn drop is spotty, and they're already dropping because it's so dry. If the wind blows, it sounds like it's raining here. You know, everything's dropping down. So, okay guys, enough babbling. Just wanted to give you an update. Happy plotting. We're 2 weeks out for hunting. Good luck. If you got some good plots, let me know. Got any questions? Drop them in the comments. We'll talk about it. See you guys on the next video, which might be while I'm hunting. Who knows? Unless something happens with this weather. But probably be while I'm self-filming. Hopefully the boy and I can get something done this year with some of these bucks running around. We do have a couple good ones. And last year we kind of struck out. I mean, I ended up getting a buck, but it was in rifle season. All bets are off in rifle season. I just shoot whatever to fill the freezer. Archery's my time to try to get something a little better. And I passed up some good ones and then didn't get an opportunity at a nice one. So, but there's some good ones around because we haven't been shooting any. So we'll give her heck. Hopefully it's me filming my boy shooting the big one. That would be cool. We'll see you guys on the next video. Good luck.